Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Bora with my 7th video in a string of videos reviewing Naxx Speed Tech. Okay, this one is called the Grob Petri. I'm going to bring up my little overview card. So that, again, as I just said, this is the Grob Petri. The setup is easy. It can go wrong, but we'll talk about ways to avoid having it go wrong. Is a Petri required? Yes. So this is one of your 5 available in-combat Petris that you can use. Very important notion for speedrunning. If you want to have valid logs, you can only use 5 Petris in combat. This is one of those 5 Petris. The risk is medium. It's medium because there are some weird things that can happen. If the mobs reset, you're probably going to wipe. It's actually like the risk is actually a full raid wipe, so that isn't great. However, it does save quite a bit of time, and it does not require any NG. Okay, so I'm going to hit play on my VOD, and of course I have not, timestamped this properly, but we'll just skip ahead here. So one of the important things to note here, this tech actually starts on patchwork. So during patchwork, I make a raid-wide call to equip Goblin rocket boots. It won't be equipped for the actual patch fight, but you just want to pre-equip them so the second the patch dies, your rocket boots are equipped, and then that 30-second cooldown starts ticking down. So you can see here, right next to my webcam, you see I've got my Fallen Hero on, boom, and my rocket boots are on. I'm going to mug this jump. Also, it's very important that you mug the next jump as well. I fail it, so, terrible leading by example here, but nonetheless, my hunter is already in the next room setting up the Grob Petri, and as soon as our rocket boots are off cooldown, the call is going to be to pop the rocket boots, jump across the slime river, again, with a mug, ideally, because you don't want to dip. And then, again, as I've said before, anytime you're about to use a set of rocket boots, you should equip a Skull of Impending Doom at the same time. Because if your boots break, you can use Skull to catch up. I've done neither of those things. I'm a terrible lead by example guy. But here we go. I missed this jump, so I dip and I take a bunch of damage. Okay, so normally there would be 7 patchwork golems in this room. Where are they? Well, they are over to the right. Hopefully I get a camera angle here. I do. You can see them in the right there. My hunter has all 7 of those golems on him. They're stitch spears, whatever they're called. So we are going to, Grob is in the room. Grob can really be anywhere, but, ultimately this is actually a pretty favorable position for him to be in because we can bring him up the ramp. General just speedrun best practices. You always want to be moving to where you are going next. So as you'll see, we'll pick up Grob here. I'm just actually topping myself because I feel bad that I missed the jump. And here we go. We started the fight, and as you can see, we're just going to, carry on this fight up the ramp. However, you'll see that my time to die is 142. It won't actually be 142, but, it's much longer than, if you look in the top middle of my screen, there's 26 seconds left on that Petri. If those mobs reset, all of them will start running towards you, and if you haven't killed Grob by that point, you are going to wipe. So there is a remedy for that. You can see in group 8, my hunter is actually in group 8. We do this Grob pull with a hunter. Alliance do something with the pally here. I think they still use a hunter to set it up though. Okay, so when there's 15 seconds left in this hunter pull, there's a priest on the other side of the wall, all the way back in this slime room. So right as you if you look at this line that I'm crossing right here, you see, actually, you can see my priest peeling off to the right there. He's on the other side of the wall from my hunter. And much like when we talked about in the gate pulls, you can actually rip aggro off of, a Petri or otherwise by casting a class buff. So that's why we moved him to group 8. And then when there's 15 seconds left on that Petri, he is going to cast a Prayer of Fortitude on himself. And because it has a 100-yard range, it's also going to buff the hunter. And all those mobs that are Petried are going to come towards the priest. The priest should be soulstone. Okay, very important piece of this tech. Make sure as you walk in a patch, if you're a warlock, make sure that your tech priest has a soul stone. It's going to save you time down the line. Your priest is going to die here, by the way. So if you're the priest, you can boon up before you start this tech because you are inevitably going to die. Okay, so when there's 15 seconds left on that Petri, my priest is going to rip off him. I unfortunately don't have a camera angle that shows all the mobs running out of the room, but just trust me that that is what's happening, and we're just going ahead and finishing the Grob fight, and then we're making our way into Gluth. So what my priest is doing right now is he's making a mad dash. So first of all, he's going to cast that fortitude. He's going to wait for all those things to turn the corner. As soon as he's identified that all those things are on him, he's going to make his way back through that Frogger hallway, all the way back to where we killed the very first scientist pack. So he's going to finish up all the way back here, okay? So this is just to give us as much time as possible to kill Grob. So now we've killed Grob, and we're going to be in the toxic tunnel in just a second here. Okay, so now we're in the toxic tunnel. So now you can see my priest is actually getting beaten down, and he's about to die. Okay, so there you go. Priest is dead. So the good news is he's got a soul stone. My hunter is still going to actually have aggro on those mobs, but he just needs to feign death. We've actually seen a weird interaction recently where the Stitch Spewers that are all on the priest just keep hitting his dead body, which is crazy behavior. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what happens sometimes. All that your hunter just needs to feign death, and all of those mobs will reset in Grobulus's room, and then you can just carry on. So then, though, what we do is our priest has a soul stone on him. As soon as all those mobs have cleared, they've reset, they're in the Grobulus's room, he can then pop his soul stone. And once we kill Gluth, on our way into Thaddeus, we're going to summon that priest, okay? So that's the whole tech. I do like this tech, however, I don't... again, it's a good time save. Oh, sorry. You know what? Before I get into this, I'm going to actually show you what this looks like to set up. Just to preface this, I actually did not set this up perfectly in this video, but you'll get the premise here of what I'm doing, and I'll tell you what I did wrong here. So what I want to do here is summon my pet, and I want to get those ones on the far wall, which I do. I actually don't want my pet to die here. It's kind of fine that he does, but when Grob is in the room, which is the scenario that I'm in right now, you actually really want to have your pet pull that far wall, and then you want to redirect your pet to these ones that are directly in front of my character model here. The reason you want them to follow your pet and not engage Grobulus. You don't want them coming right across to your hunter, so you just want your pet to pull this and then to redirect them to these, and then we'll just carry on here. I've decided the bow shot. It does work without pulling Grob, and then I'm going to arcane shot these, and then okay, here's the mistake that I make. Okay, I lip too early. I want to let everything come in. I want all 6 of these things to be on top of me, and then I want to lip. Again, whenever you're using a Petri, again, these aren't my words. Somebody much wiser than I gave me this. It's whenever you use a Petri, it's as if you did a very quick feign death. If you ever played Hunter and you feign death, but you like accidentally click it off, you'll see that the mobs kind of come back to you. That's kind of what happens when there's a Petri. So what you want every time you Petri is to have as much stickiness on you so that you don't lose the mobs as they de-aggro from you for that quick second. So I lipped too early here. I didn't let everything come in. And you see those mobs are actually resetting. So I needed to let them come in closer before I lipped. And then in my Petri, again, you always want to, in your Petri macro, have a masterwork target dummy. And again, that just adds stickiness. So I lost 2 mobs here. Nonetheless, it's easy to identify what I've done wrong here. Let everything come in, lip at the last second, then use your Petri with the masterwork target dummy, and all these six units will stick onto you. So that's how you set this up. So again, just to go back to where I was, I do like this tech. I give it a solid B. The risk, like it really depends what you're trying to incorporate into your raid. This is probably one of the last pieces of tech I would incorporate. I think some of the other things, well, one are funner, two are bigger time saves, or three maybe just have a little less risk. But again, in the context of going for a world record, you are doing Grob Petri. This is something that you will see in every speed run. You will see the Grob Petri. It's good tech and it saves a lot of time. I mean, you have to kill all 70 of these mobs otherwise, right? And again, they're so spread out in the room where like you're going in and you're killing the ones here. You're sending a pet on the far side, and then you're getting the ones on the other wall. Like it does take a long time to kill all these mobs. So this is a very healthy time save. Okay, we're almost to the end of this series. We're going to the funnest, best piece of tech, most complicated piece of tech that you'll see, and that is SAF polarity. So make sure you check out the next video.